when I get an opportunity. And I'm happy to be back here. I was not so sure what will bring me back to KMC, but when the alumni association came, I realized so I can come back here something else, and that is we can leave. Thank you so much for here. I know the numbers are more than this, because ideally this one class. So whatever you from today, make sure you pass someone else in for the session.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll be hearing more about sharing with us on that. Then I'm not sure. When I was coming.
Hi guys. Mkona sauti ndogo. Ama niongee. Hi guys. Mkwaje. Mimi ni Wikali. BJ 2011. And coming back. Mara kadhaa. And every time I walk in this gate, whichever gate.
I had forgotten that I hosted the first sports segment on ECN. A while. And here we are. And I'm just curious. Hakuna magorofa. Hakuna mambao. Moriko. Next year in there. You guys have brick and mortar. Let me just give you a little bit. Not like 13 years back. 2012. Some hostels because they used to call them. That's how. And then the male hostel side. Zilikuwa Moroto. When we were coming in, we saw some white supporter down here. We were talking about how we should get someone to get them for us. Mimi, I think Miki zote za Moroto. I love them. Anyway, and we have last but not least, who's joining us today here. He recently graduated. I'm sure some of them. How many have interacted with him? I think I saw one person. At least one person. Let him introduce himself.
Hi everyone. I'm so grateful that no one. We're not a celebrity. We're so bad. It's a good thing. I look young like you, right? Like someone student here. Robert Chacha. Organization and NGO. I work called chosen children of home. So what they do is sponsor you from 0 years to 7 years. Sponsor you to all the way to university. We have kids who are studying medicine, different courses. So we sponsor. We have capital city or California. Most of our sponsors in California. We have part of the sponsor. Somehow God's grace. And the organization. Necessary. What's on the mic? The bad thing with media is when you begin something, you're underpaid. When someone comes as a name, they pay more than you. Such a thing, but it's part of process in life, and you have to appreciate it. But throughout the process, has made who I am as a young person. I'm also surprised to be among the greatest here, and I was saying that I'm so young, but how comes among the greatest? To tell you one thing, if God is preparing for a task, he doesn't see where you are from, he sees where you're going. And as I say, my name is Chacha. I joined KMC. I came was working on a sleepers because I came from poor family. If I tell you right now, I'm even claiming my school fees here. But you see, it's a journey that you yourself have to embrace yourself, walk the path that you want. Yes, and I'm reminded of Denzel Washington in his book. He says, perseverance is a talent. So the one to persevere, and one day you'll be there. So we'll be happy to interact and talk more. Thank you.
But he talks wisdom. That's what I can say. So anyway, that aside, so sahi ni time ya kuongea. Anyone ameandika karatasi popote who would like to pass? You can just pass them across. Unaweza kunja upeane, then we will have a look at it. But just to begin us off, unajua ukiambia mtu hata kwa village, kwa estate, kwa church, kwa you go, hata kwa group yenu ya high school, ukimwambia uko KMC, the first thing wanafikiria unafanya course gani? Journalism, si ndio? Unataka kukuwa mtangazaji, si ndio? And they only think about someone in front of either a camera or behind a mic. Kuna mtu hapa ni wa engineering? House. Producer. House. And so most of us, we are so good at being mouthpieces. Tunaongelesha watu watu waongeleshwe anakonect vizuri. Akiwa mtu mwenye in the right space. Wakati umecut off toxic friends this year, build boundaries. Nani? Cut off toxic friends. Nani ameanza kwenda gym? Mimi. So much that happens that we don't really have that conversation with ourselves because life goes on. And I like what the director said that kuna a lot of things that is like your time ya talent. There's a lot that will come up and you have to showcase what is extra about you. And that can only be done if you have that conversation with yourself. So today, to kick us off this discussion about mental health, I didn't want to start it on a reflective note. Let me just give you what happened today. I know you're all on social, right? At least ako WhatsApp group mahali, ako Facebook, ako Twitter, ako somewhere. Kuna mtoto wa, kuna mwanafunzi wa Kimc who committed suicide today. Have you seen that? Kimc. Have you seen that? You've seen that today, see you? Someone walked to 6th floor and jumped over to death. In December, we had a whole engineer in Kisumu who jumped to his death. Not that those people are poor, it's not about poverty. There was also another contractor in Kilimani who also jumped to his death. Not that those people are poor, they have money. Yes, you might think they have money issues, but it's never just about money. People say it's money. There are so many aspects of mental health that people can talk about, right? Yeah. Or can affect us. Inaweza kuwa ni shule, inaweza kuwa ni personal things, inaweza kuwa ni finances, inaweza kuwa ni background, inaweza kuwa tu ni own things, society, inaweza kuwa ni hiyo tuseme unafungua kila asubuhi kabla hata hujaiona. Something can trigger that. And to kick start off this conversation, I want Wendy, who is a psychologist, paint for us a picture. Like within this, I would say like she's our atuambie kwa hii space ya mental health, Wendy. What do you think most of us here struggle with? What have you seen when you're dealing with us?
So when it comes to mental health, I think time yangu nikiwa KMC, maybe the struggles that I had as a student straight from Form 4 at village school in Kericho County. Tunaita culture shock. Actually coming to Nairobi to join KMC ilikuwa my first time in Nairobi. So kitu ya kwanza ni dress code. Mimi sikuwa najua crop top ni nini. Sikuwa najua ragged trousers. What else? Nilikuwa navaa bata ngoma. Nywele nilikuwa najua tu braids za kawaida, the black one. I didn't know kuna colors kaizi za mwikali. So kitu moja that every parent hata anakuambia ukikuja shule, kumbuka kwenye umetoka. Don't go and strain to fit in. So one thing when you get to any institution of higher learning, of which KMC is one of them, we come to try and fit in. Some of you came here, you didn't know anything about makeup, but tumeanza tu pole pole na lipstick. The next day tutakuwa na foundation. Then ukuje uambiwe foundation you have to be specific, there is one that goes with your skin tone. Unataka kusikia bei? Hiyo sitaweza. So you'll either go for something cheap and it ends up affecting your skin, ama so we've mentioned trying to fit in. So you're trying to fit in, it's where the financial implications or stressors come in. It's either you'll engage in activities zenye zitakuletea pesa for you to afford this lifestyle. Unaona ile nguo ulinunua ukikuja shule because you went to market back at home. So tutapata sponsor ndio tuweze kupata hiyo nguo, tuweze ku-afford the good makeup. So we've come from trying to fit in. Trying to fit in brings in the financial stress. And then on this bit of trying to fit in again, tunajua the cool groups, watu wanajua Nairobi. Not to say anything bad about dreadlocks, but I'll still go back to where I came from. Dreadlocks si kitu yenye ilikuwa. Mtu angeenda university na arudi na dreadlocks. Hata mzazi mwenyewe tu angekuwa mgonjwa juu. Huyu kijana wangu ameenda kufanya nini? So, I'm going back to my village. Dreadlocks was associated with drugs. Sijui kama ni kwetu peke yake. Yeah. So, dreadlocks with drugs. There is a reason as to why wanasemanga lisemwalo lipo, si ndio? So, unaanza na hizo dreadlocks, then drugs zina come in. So, tume struggle kufit in, tumeleta the financial stress, tume get into drugs. And I'm not so sure if those are the things that happen now. I joined KMC in September 2012. That's almost 14 years ago, right? So, sijui labda imebadilika, maybe we no longer struggle to fit in, maybe we no longer struggle financially, maybe we no longer have drug issues. Sijui ka tumenorm drugs ama imekuwa tu part of life, which is also norming. So, another thing that used to happen in KMC when I was here was relationships. Iyo kama ungekuwa una date, ulikuwa na shida. So, you are either dating someone older in the higher classes, ama you're dating a lecturer, ama you just have someone huku nje. We Friday jioni unapikiwa hapo nje na gari. Sisi tumecross barabara na saani. So, I was lucky. Hii hostel kwa tunaita Konza. Juu tulianza kuishi kaita Konza, tukatoka Magoro na So you can imagine, nimetoka Konza with my plastic plate and plastic cup, nivuke, niende kule, then nirudi tu bado hapa. Magari zilikuwa zinasimama hapa nje ya Moroto and the admins side ya classrooms. Naona tu mwenzako ameng'ara. Ile crop top niliongelea, that is the day it's worn. Hii nywele yenye mwikali ako nayo, hiyo ndio nywele inavaliwa. Juu, sijaona mtu ako na hiyo nywele hapa, so you need to have money. Yeah, you need to have money. So, someone unaweza hiyo nywele, it's somewhere in your closet. Mnangoja tu jioni, tukikupata huko nje, huyu ndio tulikuwa na yeye ukweli for the session. This is someone different. So, those are the things that used to happen. And someone is in this relationship with someone who might even be 20 years older than them, 10 years older than them, whatever age. And what we are looking for, it might be the financial safety. How will you afford this lifestyle? Kuna time food imepikwa huko. Sijui ka Mkonyoro bado ako. Alikuwa time yenu? He retired? Kuna mtu alimpata hapa ama mmesikia stories zake? Hamjasikia? Samtadu. Ni sawa tu tutaambia. So, food Mkonyoro amepika, si food unataka. So, kuna cafeteria on the other side. Haiko? So, ka huwezi kula food mess unaenda hadi shopping center. Hata si tulikula nyama kila siku. Yeah, so unafika whatever has been prepared is not something that you want to eat. Unaona pesa uko nayo, it's only 100 shillings. Chipo South B, kulikuwa na McFries, ni so 150, but you can't afford. Mzazi anakuambia sawa, acha nione kitu nitafanya ndio nikutafutie hiyo pesa. Na ulikuwa unataka pesa ya food that specific moment. Unaona, you'll end up engaging in these activities where you're trying to get a place for the financial safety, financial security, and you do something not because you want to, but wacha tuite peer pressure. Unataka kufit in. Unataka hata wewe ionekane umetoka na karatasi ya Chipo South B. Ionekane umevaa hiyo crop top ama umeweka hiyo wig. Kuna gari imekupika hapo pia. So those are the things to struggle nazo. Na sijui kama they are the things zenye mmenote pia in the notes that you've written. And at the end, hizi ndio vitu zinatuletea stressors. You are ashamed. You are not fitting in. You have self-esteem issues. Mnapatana Monday, mmeketi hapo mnangoja kuenda Mr. Comment bado ukwa. Yeah. Kumbuka Mr. Comment tungemgoja hapo nje ndio tuendanisha class. So mnapiga story hapo mkingoja Mr. Comment, na stories zinapigwa ni kuhusu weekend. Una story ya weekend, Julie shinda tuna mkonyoro. Ukingoja Friday jioni uende watch, ama Saturday uende watch game, urudi hostel sulale. Then marafiki zako wanapiga stories za Black Label. Hata ujui Black Label ni nini? Jameson, sijui wine. Unaambiwa how the weekend was. Unaambiwa kuhusu clubs ziko Nairobi. Unajua tu Picolina. Picolina bado iko? Hakuna Picolina? Okay. Tutaenda chua after. So, because those are the things that we experience, na upon your self-esteem inakuja, tunashanga we uko tu, unatoka hostels, utangoja Mr. Comment class. So, all those things end up affecting even your studies because you're struggling to fit in, you're struggling to know what to do, and you end up doing things that affect you and your studies and the reason you came to KMC. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. We'll have more time to interact with Wendy during this session. I just wanted her to give us the introductory remarks and set that. And it's good that one of the questions that has been asked is about fitting. Vizuri, Wendy ameongea about relationship, but now in her example, she gave it from a lady's perspective. Let me give you a bit of a story from a man's perspective. My little brother had two qualities he wanted in a girl. Ukwe rangi ya thao, kabisa, and you should have long hair. Those are the only things he would look for. Long hair, long natural hair, and very brown girls. So in the village alikuwa natesa, because again at that point he was light-skinned, height and all that. Then he's admitted at Egerton University, and he meets this girl. Perfect, light-skinned, natural hair. Semester 1, wanajuana kidogo. Semester 2, akikuja home, ako like, I need to pack extra things. So like, hey, this is a bit too much. Tunaona longi yenye anataka kuvaa, it's different. The kind of shoes are different. Semester 3, he says ataki kwenda Ushago. Nataka kuja Nairobi. So that pia I think akwe na story ya Nairobi. Then comes second year, semester 1, because he was doing trisem. During, not like really half term, but he comes to visit. And this boy, ni kama me lose 10 kg. Soko ilimpiga character development. Proper. You know, you go with your lady to a place, and then you realize the much you can afford for her or to treat her with ni zile chipo za kampo. Then on Friday evening, you find her being picked in a Benz. Boss, kijana alikonda. Alikonda. So relationships are not just about from a man's perspective, from a lady's perspective only. Even men get heartbroken. Because for him, he was that would have easily killed him. Because he's been the boy, you know, the most handsome. Actually, ladies used to fall like at his feet and all that. But this particular lady, he put on a pedestal. It took him time to recover. A lot of time. Naka change preferences. The hair remained, but skin. I'll have to change taste kidogo. Anyway, another thing that, the question that I was talking about fitting in, you know, sometimes fitting in does not necessarily mean from a place of lack. We have people here who drove when being admitted. Walikuja KMC wakidrive. There are people who get here and wako na kismat. First year, you already get money and all that. So it's not only from a point of lack. Now you are in a class where no one is driving. How comfortable will you be like, let's go for a drive with people? I don't know. Being a celebrity, Mwikali, I would maybe like you to share. We see you on TV, and we imagine, hakuna vile ushaipanda matatu, hakuna vile unaweza kula smocha. Sasa nikikwamba a quick 100,000 shillings, hiyo ni non-refundable. You know, sindio? That's what we imagine. Ama nadanganya? Anaweza kweli toy ama gikomba? Awezi jua, lakini unaweza imagine people will assume that huyu ako na stylist, sindio? Amelipa, ako na stylist, ako na driver, akiingia hivi screen account yake iko sawa, sindio? Ni ukweli? Ni ukweli. Ako na personal photographer. Tunaweza imagine maybe your iPhone 17 Pro Max. Kumbe ni Redmi. But I want her to share the truth behind being a celebrity. Like sasa yeye ni mtu wetu hapa. Sasa tuambie kidogo nini happen huko behind the scenes, ndio? Okay.
Hata simnipigie makofi ama. Tajaribu hii mic one more time. Nikikataa tunaiweka chini, ndio? Sauti ni kubwa. Saseni. Guy, ati mmesema mna imagine niko na hebu acha nizisikie tu, nyinyi niambieni. Mtu yoyote tu random. Be crazy, pengine ninaendesha Cybertruck. As in just go wherever you want to go with it. Siendeshi Cybertruck for sure. Naendesha Discovery. Okay. Anyway. Ati niko na Cayenne pale ndio nimepark. Anything else other than the cars in terms of lifestyle that you think? Naishi Kileleshwa. Oi, Jehovah. Anywhere else? Anything else? Yes. Naendanga Ole Sereni. Nimesema ama nimengoa. For lunch. Anyone else? Six-figure salary. Lazima uiseme pole pole. Niko na personal designer. Napenda kweli. Anyone else? Huku nyuma hata mgesini kitu. Consent. Wacha kuniaibisha. Thanks. Personal photographer. personal makeup artist, personal mingi. Hiyo ndio kitu imetokelezea hapa. Vitu zangu si za public. Vitu zangu ni personal. Oh, guys. Na holiday Maldives. Acha ni wa show, yani. In the same breath, with all those thoughts and imaginations that you have about me and many other celebrities out there, how many celebrities do you know that have been auctioned? Yeah? Sindio? Ni wengi. Lakini at some point tulikuwa tunawafikiriria venye mnanifikiriria saa hii. The difference between, and I'm not saying it's the same way for everyone, but the difference sometimes is what you look, like how you look at the opportunity you have. I was telling my friend today, so personal photographer, besti yangu aitwa Mbish, na alipwi, ni hii iPhone yake, yeye ndio ako na iPhone kwa hii relationship. Mimi ni wa Samsung, okay. Na ni simu hata kuna, tuko na gadget ingine ni hii tu, yako, sawa. Tulikuwa namwambia, for people to term you as a celebrity, for people to term you as, it's not because you've called on the people who consume, people who receive you. Ni hii nafanya tu. The reason people, if I was doing the things that I studied here and I'm doing I'm doing them out there without an audience that appreciates it, ningekuwa hapa leo ama mngeniambia hizo mavitu zote za Maldives? Kwa sababu sina audience. This is a favor given to you and it can be taken back. So the difference between you knowing and living like you're famous is in your head. You are given a job, like a doctor. I came here, I studied. Sisi ni wale wase tulikasirikanga, watu wajaisoma journalism wakipatiwa majob za radio na TV, tulikuwa tumejam. Unashanga Jalango alienda akasoma, so good stuff. Lakini tulikuwa tuna acting na estate books. Alafu kidogo yeye ndio ako breakfast show, niko like, huyo mse ajui broadcast journalism ni nini. But alikuwa na talent. You know what I mean? And he took that and ran away with it and did good with it. He's grown, ameenda akaenda. But tulikuja tukasoma. It's a job you're given. If you don't look at it as that and you imagine the favor that you've been given by God and the people who are consuming your content, that you are now entitled, that you should now get favors, that people should worship the ground you walk on, that haiwezi kula kwa kibanda, that kama sio lesereni lunch, haiwezi shuka, kama sina the latest iPhone, kama sina personal stylist, designer, makeup, that then you have no identity. Your identity is tied to, mimi kama si star, mi si mtu. Then you lose it. You get into depression. You start living beyond your means. Unaingia kwa madeni, unaingia kwa drugs, kwa sababu zingine reality imekuwa tough for you to face. So ni vizuri sana to understand hii kazi. The thing that happened, and I don't know, maybe ni mimi tu nilikuwa naishi venye najisikia. But nikiwa shule, sidhani kama nilikuwa najua about fame. Nilikuwa nasoma tu niandikwe kazi. Ama ilikuwaje? Mimi nilikuwa nasoma tu niandikwe kazi. Na nilikuwa nataka radio. Na nikaandikwa kazi na nikaingia radio. And it was good for a couple of years. There was nothing. Well, job yangu ya kwanza nilikuwa kwa billboards. But I still nilikuwa napanda ma3. And I had a Nigerian friend who saw the billboard. Catch ma3 na huko ambassador. Double M. Akaniambia, you're on billboards. How dare you? Matatu. But nilisonga na hiyo matatu miaka kadhaa. Uso yako ikiwa tu kwa hizo billboards. Because you're working. And maybe ningekuwa BBC ama CNN ningejitake seriously kidogo kama star. Lakini for me, I don't think I was prepared enough in school for what was expected of me being in the public space. that your relationships with people, how you behave, where you show up from, where you show up to, how you show up, those things matter. Because now you stop just being or living for Mwikali, you're also a representative of NTV. Mse ako NTV na ako pengine behind the scenes, hata kuwa na the same pressure ya wewe tulikuona na tukikuona wewe hata tujui jina yako, tunajua tu wewe ni your world NTV. So na hiyo brand unashikilia yako na ya wengine. So there's that pressure as well. So I don't remember facing or learning that while I was in school. Tulijipata nayo kwa dunia na tukasonga. But in terms of the celebrity effect, as Doris said, I think tunajiekea saa zingine kwa kichwa. Tunaweza ishi tu life poa, yenye haina madrama, yenye haujisikii kukalia watu wengine ama kukanyaga watu wengine ama kuishi virong kwa sababu una work a certain way. Because when all those titles are taken away from you, utajidescribe aje? You are not a star. And to be honest, nimekuwa out of a job for 3 years. 3 years. Nimekutana na Soja. Nimekutana na Soja hapa. Alikuwa hapa back in the day. Have you seen him? I don't remember his name, but he was here when I was a student. And I've seen him many times when I've come back. And you know what he told me just now? I am happy to see that you are back on screen. I was away for 3 years. But I live in the same place. I drive the same car because I was living within my means. Si usta, si ishi Kileleshwa. Naishi Machakos County wase. Shima Sako. Nilikaribia nyumbani, maembe season nini. But in case there are more questions, there's more we can share, but nitafika hapo for now. Cheki, mnipigia hata makofi. Mbona mko hivyo? Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mary, for being raw. I want to ambush someone. I know he most probably doesn't expect to speak today, but he's a friend because he's here. I want him to introduce himself, tell us where you work, and I want you also to chip in a bit about the fitting in topic. Just a few words.
I might be the youngest to them, lakini tulikuwa na wendi. So si mimi mdogo kabisa, tulikuwa na wendi. Okay, my name is Joachim Jogona Gitao, lakini wananijua kama Chisano. Chisano. Okay, I was here in 2012. Then all of them might be, sijui kila mtu ako wapi, but mimi I left the media industry. But what I learned here ndio imeniweka mahali yuko. I am a business person. Whatever I'm dressing is what I sell. Whatever I'm dressing is what I sell. Football, Formula 1, rugby, shoes, those is what I deal with. Large scale and in small scale. Okay. Nimeambiwa niongee kuhusu fitting in. As when we were coming to this school, we were, let me say I was a bit naive. Sikuwa najua vitu. Sikuwa ati na ushamba, but sikuwa najua vitu. So, sikuwa na ushamba. Kwetu zi mashamba. Kwetu zi mashamba. Sawa basi, nilikuwa na mshamba. So, nikikuja hii shule, there are those people I always admired fashion. Sana. Then, mi nimekuja hapa na zile trouser, zinapigwa pasi. Nakata hivi ile, inamwagio mpaka tumaji ndio hiyo line itoke. Hivyo ndio nimegrow. Then, unakuja unapata watu, venye unaonanga kwa music, kwa TV. Hivyo ndio wanavaa. Easily, hawana struggle, leo amevaa hivi, kesho anavaa hivi. Yani mpaka unajiuliza, kwa wangu hawezi nisaidia nivae nyao. But you come to think of it, unaona? Some of those wenye walikimbizana na hiyo fashion right now some iliwapeleka to some destinations zenye siwezi taka hata kuzitaja kwa sababu they went and tried to live beyond what they could get at that particular time. Kuna wase walikuwa, acha nipeane example na mimi. In school hapa tulikuwa na group yetu. Hiyo group ilikuwa na Mr. Mas, ilikuwa na Miss Mas. I think wengi anakumbuka kina Maina, kina Babo, kina Idris. They were very good friends. Some of them we are in tabs to date, some of them we are not in contact to date, but those whom we talk with wako place poa, wanaendelea vizuri. Then in this group mpaka tulikuwa tunajieka in a specific way, as in we want to live in a specific way. Then you could see others admiring to be like who we were. But in between the group, one thing I liked with the group that I had, we used to help one, hatukuacha. Kama tunafanya kitu tutafanya pamoja. Kama tuna move on this direction, we move on this direction. And some of us wenye tuko nao, I think moja mwikali anamjua anaitwa Jidraf. Jid was a very good friend of mine. Sai is in Switch, or he moved from Switch, but he's a very good camera person and a director. So these guys, in terms of fitting in, there's a group you can try to fit in that will lead you to the right direction. And there's a group you might try to fit in, it will deviate you from what you want to achieve. So having groups, for me at times, nasemanga it's a good thing, but be careful which group you go into. Think right now, si kama sisi tulikuwa, vitu zilikuwa nyuma. Mimi mwenyewe nilikuja shule, sikuwa na simu, leave alone ile ya kutuma message, because at home we were sharing, me and my sisters. So walikuwa wakubwa wangu, hakuna venye wangenipatia simu nikuje nayo. So sikuwa na simu. The first phone I had, nilihustle. Tukiwa shule, I had to switch classes from regular to evening, ndio niweze kufanya vitu zangu, ndio niweze kupata that extra mile. Mimi nasemanga, I nearly fit in, but the group that I fit in right now, it molded me to who I am. But there are groups zenye sahi hata ukipatana na yeye haezi taka umuone. There's nothing bad like that. Atunapatana na mtu kona shame. Hata ukipatana na mtu ulisoma, walikuangalia shule, walikuwa nakuona huyu ajielewi, huyu ako nyuma. But the minute umetoka, umeenda to the next step, umeanza kuprogress. Sisi wote si kama huyu jamaa, huyu chairman. 2 weeks, anasema alitamak for 2 weeks. Hey, that is not tamakin bana. Kuna mtu sahi tulitoka na yeye, utapata job hii mwaka, lakini amekuwa patient. Na hiyo wanasemanga patience pays. So it's not when we talk about fitting in, you have to look and gauge where are you fitting in. There is a place you can go, you try to fit in, you lose your direction. There is a place you can go, you fit in, and it leads you towards your goal. Asante sana.
Hey, thank you so much. You know, on the program or on the plan that we had, he didn't feature. And when he came in, I automatically assumed that because I've not seen you in front of a camera or I've not had you behind a mic, I thought maybe you are in production. But you see the chances, like masomo hapa, it doesn't mean that lazima uandikwe ama nini. He's a big wig. Hii si ile, mbona ijazi? Hii si ile ya thao, by the way. Ama ujaona? Muongeshe nyuma ya tent. There's a question here that is very, very interesting. Someone has asked, how to deal with childhood trauma? And before I bring in someone to give us a bit of insight into this, I want to do a disclosure. I have been in name to it. I have been in high school. High school mlikuwa mnaita counseling, ndio? Kila high school silikuwa na counselor. Personally, I went into the counseling desk or to the counseling office, not because I knew I was struggling with someone or something, but I just thought I didn't belong. Because I used to look at people's boxes and imagine, mimi niko na fare ya kunifikisha shule and maybe 100 bob. But I was not struggling financially because we had meals in school. I wasn't struggling, but there were conversations that people used to have to my side, the groups. People would have some conversations that I felt were out of place for me, not for them. The context of family setting, how they used to relate with their parents, how they used to relate with their siblings. And though I might not share in full scale, but mine was not like theirs. So luckily, I got into the counseling office, and that lady used to teach us maths, and that's how I started loving maths. Actually, I don't think I performed well in maths because I was very bright, but because she was the counselor, so I could relate with her. When I came to KMC, I was a member of the sub-ACU committee, and there is also a lot that counseling, a lot of work that sub-ACU, the sub-AIDS control unit, and counseling do together. So together, like talk about HIV, pia there used to be counseling involved. So I interacted a lot with counseling from the government aspect. When I started working, luckily I went into government, and we were introduced again to counseling facilities. So sometimes I sit down and think, for me, my life has been largely positively impacted because of counseling, or now that you call it therapy. I am still in therapy. I even had a session this week because I know whatever I'm dealing with or whatever challenges I have right now are not necessarily things that I encounter today. Si ati mdosi amenichocha. Hiyo ni kidogo inanitrigger, but I have a lot of things that I've. So I just want to bring in Robert. Now that he's already told us alikuja na slippers, I just want him to share a bit about himself and what he's doing now, because he told you he's the head of communication, right? Yeah, so just for all of us, not necessarily child trauma, not necessarily struggle, but I just want you to get a perspective of, if you're struggling with something, how best can you work through it, above it, under it, but at the end of the day, you come out okay. Robert.
Thank you, Doris. You know, one thing that I'm so happy is that you guys should know one thing that I want to encourage you. There's nothing good like you can walk in a matatu, no one notices you, and do your own things. And that you're living good. That's the most important thing. The celebrity thing, the famous thing, people carrying attention on you is not life. But if God has given you, use it for your own good. Let me begin. When I joined KMC in 2017, you guys see Mwanzia and lecturer that you are greeting here. When I came to 2017, just to help some of you, can I be vulnerable here? My father is a watchman. So when I came to KMC, I came by my own in 2017. I never come to Nairobi. For the first time, I saw a beautiful lady, and up to date, she's in my mind. She was so beautiful. Yeah, for the first time. Someone who brought school, someone who we were studying with back then. Someone that lady we went to school with. Actually, we studied with her here. So when I came, a friend whom we started back in Korea, he came to not took because the hostels are here. So he brought me in and he left me. So I did registration here. So if you came from a poor family, a background family. I'm a testimony to tell you, know what? The Bible was cast everything you have unto him. So when I came in, I did a fund in church for me to come and pay school fees for myself. I did it for 1 year. That's to tell you. Up to date, I'm clearing my school fees here at KMC for my certificate. But I see I am, it's because one, the focus. I want to encourage you from the book called Water Walkers by John Ortberg. He's a good writer, and I will carry books. He says this, walk on that boat and get off that water. I want to encourage you one thing from a movie. Do this way. Kila mtu afanye hivi. Kila mtu afanye hivi. He says, if you cannot pay attention for 30 minutes, how will you pay attention for the rest of your life? So you cannot pay attention to what people are speaking for 30 minutes, you cannot pay attention for the rest of your life. So that is it. The trauma to try to fix it hit me a lot. I never had it to date because I don't know how to date. I came to Nairobi. Niko na mademu wa kwanza wameng'ara kweli. Kwanza walikuwa wamevaa zina alikuwa anabonga kizungu ngine haiko. Mimi nabonga Kiswahili tupu. So niko zile za nafite aje hapa. That's the thing. And we came in, walikuwa nakuja kwa hostel zetu. We were the last people mademu kukansuliwa kwenda kwa hostel. We were the last people kabisa. Mimi nilipigwa exile sana. Like a lot. Like a lot. Like a lot. So one, I was so innocent. Remember, this is the guy who, okay. So thank you. Remember, this is the guy who just came in from a village, trying to fit in the society that you never imagined. But let me encourage you. I got 3 brothers of mine. One of them is called Klaus Otieno. He's in DCI. Another one is Benjamin Muhatia. He's a CEO in a peer organization than me. We slept on a hostel called State House. We used to pray and telling God, whenever we come from out of here, we never lack. Until God has been so grateful, all of us are working and very big. Just to tell you, whenever you come in, choose your friends right. On dating, I left KMC with no single girlfriend. No wonder up to date I'm single, sija date. I'm not dating. The reason being is because I wasn't this way. Mwanzia can tell you, even the lecturers, that they can tell you how I looked. I was so bad. Like I was so bad. Yeah, niko na picha nipe sijaweka hapa hivi. I was so bad. I was so bad. Because my fees ended in the first year. So Mama used to accommodate me, even Daktari used to accommodate me. But I remember one day, Daktari telling us when we came, he told this, there are so many condoms in Kwacho. If you focus on them, you lose the meaning. But if you focus what brought you, you go somewhere. Sounded like a joke, but that's serious. So I want to encourage you, if you're trying to fit in, look for friends who can fit you in the right way. Another thing I want to encourage you, be busy. I came in and joined the ECN. ECN, I became the head of sports. And then I used to present morning gospel show. Because somehow I'm saved, it's a privilege. And never run away from salvation. It will keep you strong to where you want. It's only a stupid who runs away. But a clever one sticks. You got me, yeah. The first time also in fitting is in different areas. Through God's grace, the first time I got a flight to California, the same thing that happens. Stigma, no language. But you know what? I stick to one thing, what the Bible says. I have the plans for you. So if you know where you're coming from should contribute you to work hard. That's what I believe. If that guy refuses you, kuna mademu wengi sana. If that boy refuses you, kuna mademu wengi sana. This is what I tell people whenever they have mental problem. Raise up your hand this way. Everyone raise up your hand. I want to encourage you on one thing, and that should stick you whenever you face problem. The way you're raising this your hand, you cannot see the other part here, right? That is God for you. God is the one who has your script. No one has your script. No one ever has your script. Not Galgao, not Nabiswa, not anyone. There's one person who has your script. That is God. Thank you.
Hey. Thank you so much, Robert, for being vulnerable and open enough to share your story with us. Hey! Anyway. He's talked about he's not dating, he's single. Ujona mtu? Sure. Anyone who... he says the reason he couldn't date is because he was... let me say he thought maybe he couldn't date, he couldn't fit in. I also didn't date in KMC, but my reason was quite different. Every time guys would be picked on a Friday, pale kwa gate, na magari, I looked at everyone in KMC, every student, including wa evening, nilikuwa nachungulia, and none of them had that kind of a car. And there is no way I was going to go for a date in that cafeteria. I just imagine that my first day, dinner date would be, I think I was just a wild dreamer. And for me, there was no one in KMC who could fit in my dream. So, but do I say? Okay, but hey, soko nilifunza kitu. Anyway, a story for another day. Anyone who has a question that would just like to ask on the floor as we tackle the next questions? Kuna mtu akona swali? If you'd like to ask clarification something. There's one question that we got. There's a third year who says things are going south. I don't know if it's a him or her. That he or she has had a really streak of bad luck in the recent past. If you are here and you are not afraid, I'd like you to see Robert after this. Because it can't be a blanket. We don't know what could go wrong. It could be something that is either family related, if it's maybe, it could be within which area. So after this, kindly see Robert, we can try and see if we link you to someone who can work with you that journey. Or maybe you are sick and you cannot afford to go for treatment. Yes, we can still find a way to help. Because if there is one thing that I realized when we were here, there are few people who contracted STIs. And guys used to fear going for treatment. Because at this age, if you contract an STI, it's like stigma. Wewe ni msherati, sindio? But shit happens. And the best way to deal with something like that is to treat it as early as possible. Otherwise, you'll end up making it even worse. Another thing is ARVs. I worked in this. For the 3 years I was here, I was a member of the Sub-AIDS Control Unit. I know we used to talk a lot about condoms, but there's also the aspect of antiretroviral treatment. That should you test positive for HIV, seek treatment. There are people who've lived years and years. I personally know someone very, very close who lived with the HIV for 26 years. And died of something else, never of HIV. At some point, even the viral load was undetectable, completely. So those are the things that I know we say, oh, we have all the ABC, abstinence. But truth be told, we are having sex. From 10 years, you hear someone who's 12 years, they are pregnant. High schoolers are having sex. So I can only imagine us here, college mates. At this age, maybe more than 50%. Let me not say 100 because I know people who are not, or I think there are people who are not, but people are having sex. So once we move away from the abstinence bit, which is not happening, then we get to the second bit. Are we using condoms? If we're not using condoms and something happened, then are we seeking the right attention to it? Are we going to seek treatment? Are we going for counseling? Anyway, that was just a by the way. There is a question that came that deals with now the profession, that is the media profession, something about politics in journalism within East Africa, and I'll give our chairman an opportunity to respond to it.
Hamjambo. Mimi nitaongea kwa uchache sana, manake tuna dakika kama 20 ama 30. Nimeulizwa your knowledge on media related politics in East Africa. Mimi nilisoma siasa baada ya kutoka hapa katika chuo kikuu cha Nairobi. Ndio sababu nikakuwa na mvuto sana katika mambo ya siasa. Lakini pia nasoma sana vitabu na makala mbalimbali ambazo zinahusu siasa, na vile vile natafuta watu ambao wanawahoji si kutoka tu Kenya. Nilioji nafikiria mimi ndio nimehoji kwa Kenya, nimemhoji Tundu Lissu kwa muda mrefu sana. Wengine wamejaribu, lakini kwa hiyo inalingana, lakini unasoma sana kwa sababu huyo mtu wakati unamuuliza maswali lazima pia uwe na uelewevu, uwe umepanua wigo wako, the scope of that subject, okay? Bure utakuwa na utata mkubwa sana. Kwa hivyo ni kusoma tu, kufanya utafiti, kuzungumza na watu na wakongwe ambao wako mbele yetu. Na ningependa kusema kitu kuhusiana na patience. Lazima uwe mtu mvumilivu sana, hata wakati unafanya hizi taarifa na wanasiasa na kadhalika. Unapiga simu, mtu anakuambia wiki kesho ako na shughuli fulani. Ikifika wakati mwingine mke hajamruhusu kuzungumza na kadhalika. Unaona? Kwa hivyo lazima uwe, na hata nyinyi mnapotoka hapa unaweza tafuta attachment ukose, ama kazi ukae mwaka moja, uanze kulaani watu na kadhalika. Unasema kwa nini mimi nasema nilitamak wiki 2, lakini kabla hapo nilikaa nyumbani miaka 4 bila kufanya kitu. Nilikuwa nasema kama sipati nafasi KMC siendi. Kwa hivyo sio kwamba nilikuwa tu nimetoka kwa shule alafu ikawa hivyo. Sasa hiyo nawaambia ile kitu kinaitwa patience. So kama kitu kimechelewa kidogo, usianze kujiuliza maswali mengi sana. Hata paka sasa watu tunasubiri Yesu kuja kwa miaka 2000. Sasa ukikaa tu 6 months hujapata kitu, usianze kufikiria maswali mengi sana. Siku yako itafika, na alivyosema mwenzangu, Mungu huwa na ramani ya kila mtu. Sio? Kwa hiyo msiwe na wasiwasi. KMC ni jina kubwa. Hii ndio shule bora zaidi katika Afrika Mashariki na Kati kwa mambo ya habari na mawasiliano. Sasa watu wakati wao KMC wanaanza kunungunika, mimi wanashangaa hawa wa Galatia wa KMC ni nani aliwaroga? Kwa sababu hapa kuna kila kitu ambacho unaweza kuhitaji. Kwa hivyo unahitaji tu bidii na kadhalika. Kwa hivyo nawashukuru sana. Masuala ya siasa Afrika Mashariki. Kwa hivyo narudisha usukani kwa binti Doris aendelee kufanya majambos.
Asante sana Bwana Nabiswa. Nikianza kuongea Kiswahili sanifu kama hicho, mambo yataenda mrama kidogo. Kabla nipatie mwikali nafasi ya tujuze kidogo, alafu kisha Robert, kisha utatufungia Wendy. Kuna kitu ambacho hatujaguzia kidogo. Social media. How many people are on Facebook here? Nani ako na? Nimeona kuna mmoja. Anyone mwenye ako Facebook? Twitter? Instagram? TikTok? Natafuta mwenye hajainua mkono, sijui ako wapi. Snapchat? Reddit? Threads? Okay. What else? Any other nimeacha nye unajua? LinkedIn, that's a professional one. Let me tell you something. We are in a media institution, and especially for the people pursuing any journalism or communication related course, it is necessary to be on those platforms. Simbaya. Sindio? Simbaya. And if you notice nowadays, every platform you are on has 2 timelines. Mshai notice? There is the For You page, and there is the following. Sindio? If For You ni algorithm, vitu yenye una watch na kusuggestia. And most of the time you realize, if you set your settings to the For You page or whatever that platform suggests for you, you can scroll even for 3-4 hours without noticing that you've been there. Si ni ukweli? But if you go to following or whatever you have subscribed to, una spending like less time, sindio? And that is the space you've curated for yourself. So as much as social media has its other side here for you, the noise, the clutter and all that, it's also empowered you enough to give you a space for you to curate exactly what you want to see. If you are a sports journalist, do you follow other sports journalists on this platform? If you want to be the best, let me say, engineering student who does maybe crypto, are you following the best crypto people who can give you that information? If you want to be a political analyst or in the political space, are you following the right people in that space who can give you that? He said he learned later something to do with politics, and I'm sure if you go to his page, you'll find most things may be related to whatever he does. So even as we talk about mental health, the noise that we consume online, on whatever social you're on, it's our own wanting. Because most of us, whenever we log in, the first thing inakuja ni for you. Sindio? Ile you message, so you start seeing so and so is shopping in Dubai, so and so is on whatever. And remember, someone is telling you, I spend a day in my life. And that's on YouTube, eh? How long is that video? 30 minutes. How long is a day? Is that spending a day with them? Food for thought. Okay.
Ameguzia a very critical point. Social media is one of the most, to me, is my most important thing. Because for me to get sales, everything I do, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, that is where my market is. And for me to establish the market that I have with people, it comes from there. Because when I sell to someone, he refers me to someone else. The other person refers me to someone. So you see your market revolves around your social media. For instance, I have 2 pages. One that deals with jerseys, another one that deals with shoes. I won't say the number I have for the followers I have, but I will give you the handle. Shoes, it's Uptown Looks. Jerseys is Chisano Creatives. In Uptown Looks, I have almost 50,000 followers. In Chisano, I have around 10,000 followers. 8 to 10, I'm not sure. But you see, the way amesema, it's you can have social media for your benefits, and you can have social media to deviate you from what you want to do. Social media is very strong because utaview vitu, you will get an interest in them. You will want to discover more about them. So unajipata, leo umeona kitu, ume-advance kidogo kuiangalia. Kesho, uta-advance zaidi. Then, before ujue, utajipata, uko hapo. There are people I know, wameingia kwa cults through this thing. Anaona kitu inafanywa, anasema we meet, like right now, kuna kitu ina trend. Tukutane tao, twende Gatondo. Tukutane tao, twende Kikuyu. Of which I feel si mbaya, as long as you know what you are doing. But pia, some who do these things don't have good intentions. Mtu atawaambia tupatane tao tufanye hivi. In that group mkitembea hivi, drugs ndio zinatembea kwa hiyo trip. So social media is very good. It's very, kwanza in this time we are living, it's very, very important. Because for me, without the social media, without Instagram, specifically Instagram, without Instagram, I have no life. Without Instagram, I have no life, because my life depends on Instagram. Everything I do, what I post, anything I get, I post there. Anything I get, I post there. I keep following. I follow those international brands. What is new they have released? What is it they are doing? I follow other people who are in the same market I am. Wanafanya nini ndio wapate the following they get, so that they get the returns they are getting. So social media is very good, but we need to use it and use it very wisely. Thank you.
I have 2 questions. Without connections kwa industry, how will I make it through? Cause the biggest stress inakwaga pressure ya kumake it. Connections are good, guys. Lakini sijui ni connections gani unafikiria. Pengine unafikiria anko yako, ama unafikiria mtu wa village yenu, ama sijui unafikiria huyo connection ni gani. But connections are not bad. Like I said earlier, my very first time kukua kwa TV as an actor was a connection I made here. Pale, kwa ile theater, inaitwa nini hiyo kitu? Hiyo. Na kukua Powerhouse. We met people, they were looking for extras, nikakuwa Uchita Hidi High. It's not a big deal lakini saa hiyo ilikuwa familia mzima ilikuwa inangojea hiyo my 5 seconds of fame kwa Uchiwa supermarket. Connections are not bad. Make them. Kama kwenyu hakuna, considering hii question imeniuliza, kama una feel hakuna mtu unajua atakusaidia, wewe tengeneza hizo connections sahi. Your network inakaaje? Who are you hanging out with? When we live here today, how many people will live with a number? How many people will live with a connection? How many people will ask that question that is important? I remember one girl, because tulikuwa tunakujanga hapa hivi form ones, New Year's wakijoin. Mnaitwa wale mliclear. Preview bado. And this girl asked a question in the room, and then later she talked to me outside. And I'm so proud. She's called Agnes Kola. To see Kola later in life living the dream, the questions she asked about acting and being in the industry. Now she's traversing huku Africa, as a director. She's in that space. She's on stage, she's on screen, she's behind the scenes, she's working with Akina Philo and Abel. And hizo connections zilitoka wapi? Hapa. Mimi sikuwa na hiyo connection for her. But the same way she showed up and asked a question to me is the same way probably she did, and she was seen by other people. Connections are not bad. Just make the right ones. Okay? Haya. Niko na ingine question. So, hii question, sijui nitakusaidia aje lakini nitajaribu. Alafu pia mtanisaidia skwa. Sindio? Okay. I'm in a very toxic relationship. Cheki, tumefika ama tujafika? Tumefika? Okay, sawa. I'm in a very toxic relationship, but I really, really love the girl. I've thought of ending the relationship, but then I remember that I really love her. And I don't want to lose. Akiacheni kucheka. And I don't want to lose her. What should I do? Mnataka kucheka niwapatie 10 seconds. Haya, chekeni mmalize. Haya, saa imeisha, saa kuna kucheka tena. Simemaliza kucheka, imetoka. The reason nasema tusicheke hii question ni kwa sababu inakaa funny, kwa sababu imesemwa loudly. Ni kwa sababu mtu wako vulnerable, lakini watu wangapi wamejipata kwa hiyo situation hapa ndani? Watu wangapi hapa nyinyi, sijui Chacha? Hata sisi, hata hivi, It's a constant. It's a thing. It's a life thing where you love someone and they don't love you back. But it's different when you know that they are toxic because you've written they are toxic. And the fact that you know they are toxic, then you know they are not good for you. And as much as unaweza ambiwa na watu 1 million, achana na yeye, unajua kile unasikia ndani. But the questions you need to ask yourself is, how well do you know you? How well do you know your worth? What are you about? What do you want? Why are you in that relationship in the first place? Are we in a relationship just because everybody is in a relationship? Are we in a relationship because alini like basi acha tu ni like kike? No. Why are you in there? Does it make sense to you? If at all. If you're not in a relationship yet, then ask yourself, why do you want to be in one? That if they are toxic, find out maybe ni nini part yako ujipendi sana, kwa sababu eventually it's not them. The truth is not them. You can blame them all you want. You can say walinifanyia wakafanya, but the problem is you. Because you have not chosen yourself enough. You don't love you enough to say no to toxicity. And it's not as easy as I say it. It's very hard. But you need to walk that journey of finding you, loving you, and choosing you over everything else. Wengine tuna decide hizo saa hizo tuko 30s. So uko na chance ya kudecide sahi. Sando? All the best. Nimemaliza.
Thank you, Mary. Do you have anyone? Any question that we are looking out? I think due to time, we are doing wind down. Another question related to that is, our men don't look at us. They are now into all women for money, bent tense with issues. How do we deal with this? I want us to give us an answer, or your perspective of it. Your name, of course.
Okay, hello everyone. Okay, that was a shock to me. That was a very big shock to me. But what I can say, it's the individual person. The individual person. I didn't have much to say on this, but I was just shocked. Yeah, thank you.
Interesting. I think I would want to hear a lady's perspective too. And usiangalia kando, ni wewe tu. I want to hear something about, the question is, our men don't look at us, they are now into older women for money. Is this something that you've heard? Are you aware such is happening? Yeah? You can stand, you can sit.
Okay, my feedback is maybe men mostly, they see a relationship as it's like they are wasting their time with you. Mostly if you are a woman and you don't have an income or any job you are doing, you are just unawategemea sana. Sasa hao wakiona hivyo, hakuna mwenye anawasupport, then wanaamua juu I see niko broke, wacha nijitafutie another income juu huyu ananimaliza. Yeah. Sasa anaamua tu acha find another way, achana na huyu amsaidie anything. Na huyo mama atampea pesa, atampea everything mwenye huyu hakuwa anampea. Yeah.
I like that. I want also to hear from the gentleman in red. Unafikiria if you, I'm assuming, let's put this hypothetically, that you are not dating. Do you think wasichana wa masa hapa kazi yao tu ni kutaka pesa, so you'd rather get an older woman outside, ama?
Maoni. Kwa sasa mimi sina maoni.
Mwenye ako na maoni atupatie maoni. Tumeamua na maoni. Kidogo tu. Just what you think. It's a hypothetical issue.
Mi Kenya nasema, a relationship is not all about money. It's all about love. To any boy or lady wenye wana date, give your man time ndio akuwe financially stable. You should support each other. Okay.
Thank you. Interesting. Then I would also like to ask something else, kwetu hapa. Do you think it's really necessary for you to date when in college?
Okay, it's not necessary, but ni kama ile stage ya you must, unaona, like dating, it's not a big deal, but we are like knowing the opposite gender, udem anaweza taka kukaaje, like na pia inategemea na friend group yako. Kama memori yako uko na madem, wewe usikae hostel bure. Si lazima ikue ile intimate relationship, but you can look for a best friend, but si lazima mdate. Bado sisi ni wadogo, lakini kuna ile semi kuna joto, lakini lazima tu utafute mtu akwambie. Unajua mwanaume akiambiwa I love you, nakupenda, you look handsome, I like your haircut, nini, it's inakumotivate kidogo, uone at least uko na tisho kidogo kwa jamii. Lakini si lazima, but hiyo ni perspective yangu. Mi si date, lakini I'm not dating, but I think ni kutoka high school. Ni kitu imekuwa ikipasia, unasikia ukifika kampu utapata madem, sijui life inakuanga fiti, mnapiga sherehe nini ni face, but we mwenyewe ukiamua usidate. Tumepatana na madem mwenye ni hard to get, na mpaka walea wataki wanaume mpaka wamalize campus. Lakini unajua wanaume we can, hatuwezi multitask, lakini you can just, unaweza chungulia kidogo kama uone unaweza. At least ujue pia wewe, vile nimesema tu, unaweza guruma kidogo. Uone kama unaweza katia dem, ingia box. Si lazima mdate.
Round of applause for him. I like how he brought it home. And I was actually coming to you, but my question would be slightly different from what you are discussing, but a bit with a twist. Tangu kuje shule ama from high school, have you ever had a conversation with anyone about dating, about self-sex, about just the whole thing, about finances in dating? Have you ever had a conversation? And if not, what is your thought about it?
Okay, I wouldn't say I've had a conversation like about relationships. Okay, I've been in sessions where we've had talks about relationships and all that, but I don't remember like many times. I don't remember any time I've talked to someone really about that much about relationships. But me, about relationships, what I can say now, to answer the question you asked, me, I would say it's not really necessary to date while in campus. I think I would say before even you think about dating, you see, when it comes to dating, I believe that you should date with purpose, not just dating for fun. And when it comes to dating with purpose, at least you should have, especially men, they should have direction in life. They should know where they're going, because when it comes to the relationships, even when the relationship will come into marriage, you know, a man is the one to lead, the one to provide, so he's going to have direction. But also, of course, the ladies also got to have direction. And also, when it comes to dating, at least you look for a partner who is supportive. And, who has the same values as you. At least you need to have some form of wisdom about dating before at least you start dating. You don't need to know everything, but at least you should have some understanding and don't rush into relationships. But if you happen to find a good partner while in campus, well and good. If not, yes, if not, you can wait. On the subject of finances, okay, this is something that I've seen on social media. Kind of waiting to get a person who like has all the money. You can build together, support each other. That's what I can say.
Wisdom, eh? Wisdom. Na nimeona kuna mtu amereact hapa. So I want also to get another perspective of this conversation. Finances and substance abuse. Or substance use. Let me not say abuse. Substance use. Most of us will be introduced to, or you'll become aware of many forms of drugs and alcohol when you are here. You might not necessarily use them, but this is the first time you'll hear of some names. Kama mimi, one liquor that I learned the name the first time I joined Mass was Jameson. I had never known people take that thing. But when I came here, I learned that apparently it's a good drink. So I want to ask you, do you think that in college, if you have money, you will automatically maybe be drawn to use of drugs? Or do you think just people use it for other reasons? And what do you think should we not completely use here as students? Or is it something that you should learn to use kidogo ndio ukienda huko nje usishtuke?
Thank you. My perspective, kwa kama if it is a must or not to use the drugs, I think it's not really necessary to use them. But kwa perspective ya student, vile yeye anataka, he or she wants to use them so that akitoka huko nje aende place apate watu wakitumia, hata kuwa surprised that kuna hii kitu. But to me, okay, mwenye anataka kutumia tumie, but use that kakitu like the money you have, I think you should save for futures. Tuseme kama I get maybe you want to invest it in something. I think instead of using it in drugs, use it to invest into something that will make it more better thereafter. Sijui ka nimesema kitu mna get, but to me it's not really necessary. But usiitumie sana. If it's a must to you, like utaki kuenda kukua surprised uko nje, tumia kadogo. Onja.
Thank you so much. A round of applause to everyone. Hey, do you know how much wisdom you guys ooze? I think we should do a whole campus edition recording and have this shared with other institutions. You have very rich perspective that I could not think like that when I was here. You should be proud of yourself. As we are winding up, I would like to, as we were winding up, I'd like Robert there's a question that I had given you, someone to you. I want you to talk a little bit about it in just like 2-3 minutes, and then you give your closing remarks, then we will have Wendy.
So, thank you. I think someone asked this. He's a third-year student, and like he doesn't know what's next for him or her. And literally say, anasema tu ni maombi tu. Back again. Never worry everything. I told you that to my basics because somehow I thank God because whatever I've gone through is to encourage you. As I said, myself, I don't have siblings. I don't have a brother. I don't have a sister who is educated. And so my dad never went to school. I had the same question with you, same question that were in my mind, same as you. But I want to encourage you on one thing is, when I came to KMC, I spent a lot in cameras, doing stories. This guy here, Mse Wateka anaweza kuambia ni mwanzia. It's if you're in third year and you never build a portfolio for yourself, someone may say, don't leave this school if you don't have something that you've done with the school and use the facility for your own good. So if you've done something, That's something that you've done will help you go where you want. I don't know if you understood what I'm saying. So I'm the head of communications, right, in an NGO. But what do you do? Nilikuanga ECN, nilikuanga na produce stories, but I had hope. So when I tell you one thing, it's hope. And I've told you one thing, that God is the one who has your script. Not anyone has your script. So, but if you've worked hard and in prayer unto God, mazegoda achange mse yote. You know, I was reading a story by an author. His name is Omar, and he says, Christ redefines success according how he wants. So it's, I don't know how I can pure it, but I can tell you, if church here can sit with the big wins in this country, you can also. See, kama imesink. I don't know, kama imesink. If Chacha, a son of a watchman, had nothing, had connections, and somehow he worked hard and prayed hard, and today he's here with the big wins, you're the next mentor here. Sijui kama inasink. Wase ni kama waradi. Imeland. So never get worried. The Bible says, never worry about tomorrow. Whatever you eat, it belongs to him. So you've worked hard, pray unto God. It will get tough, but you see what every toughness hardens to be who you are. If you are a Christian, the story of Joseph, he went through a lot to be whom he wanted to be, and then he became the prime minister. Even Jesus went through that tough season to save you. You know what tough season make you? Then they mold you. So respond positively. I think I've answered that. So the person I was telling you that is my friend there, or Claudius. Huyo sikana hizo no mkono. Huyo jamaa wa specs huyo. Huyo jamaa ni host ni Clark school fees all there for 3 years. So look for someone to look for that people. And mko mnasema fitting. Tafuta mtu wa kufit mwenye anaweza kukusave. Look for positive people. Asante sana.
Thank you so much, Robert. And if there is one thing that I don't think most of us do, and personally I'm also not very comfortable doing, is being personal and vulnerable. And I think your story touches us in ways, not necessarily his journey, but there are things that he reminds you of. Cindy, friendships. He talked about the friend who hosted them. I don't know how many of us have friends who can host us. I don't know. Anyway, as our last speaker of the day, Wendy, and Wendy, for you, I have a very small task, even as you make your closing remarks. Maybe you can just highlight the tools that as students, or as just human beings, let me say the youth, we can use to cope up with the different areas that we're struggling with mentally. Like, what are the available tools? Is there a platform we can seek therapy from? Is there a thing that we can do to make our lives better that doesn't necessarily cost money? Like, just a few practical tools.
Okay, so gladly therapy nowadays, or something to do with mental health, we've embraced it such that you can freely talk about it. Unlike some years back where if someone was suicidal, that was a crime. But for now, if you are suicidal, that is a call for help. So you won't end up in prison, in a courtroom. We'll find a way to give you assistance. And on the same thing, when you were talking about relationships, because I know at this age, it's a thing that we are struggling with, and that is where childhood trauma comes in. For the person who was in a very toxic relationship, but they can't leave, if you go back to your life, in your childhood, you say you can't leave this relationship because you love her, maybe she loves you too. Is it that out here you are lacking love? Growing up you didn't have love, that's why hata kama ni mbaya, nitakaa tu, si ananipenda, ama nampenda, acha nikae tu hapa. There's something called Stockholm Syndrome. We stick to the people that wanatutesa sana. wewe unajua tu unateswa, but you still stay there. You'll cook for them, you'll wash their clothes, you'll fold them, you'll ensure that they are very neat going out there. Lakini each month, each week uko na black eye. Na ukiulizwa niligongwa na dirisha, niligongwa na mlango, nilianguka, but you're sticking to someone who is hurting you. And as a counselor, the thing that I always say is, it's worse to have an emotional torture. Very few people will understand that unateseka. And this is mostly about men. Let's even talk to Nabiso and Chacha. Have you ever gone for therapy? Have you ever had a struggle? Have you ever had a struggle, financial struggle? Nabiso, when you were waiting for 4 years before you get KMC, what was going on through your mind?
Nafikiria mimi huwa kwa kawaida nachukulia maisha vile. Sasa ilikuwa hiyo miaka 4 nilikuwa tu mtoto mzuri nyumbani. Nahakikisha kwamba saa 7 nafikia lunch na mama anatoka shuleni anakuja. Kwa hivyo lakini kuna wakati ilinisumbua kabla niende. Iliwekewa mikono, ilikuja huko Nairobi kutoka KFC. Iliwekewa mikono na kinang'anga, Wanjiru. So, haikuwa rahisi kwa kweli. Ulikuwa unafikiria ni kwa nini unakaa na unapata rafiki zako wamekuja KFC. Sasa hata darasa likaingia ile ya mageni ile kama ya ile parallel. Tena wanakuambia usome nini, uanze na certificate. Wanasema grade yako ilikuwa juu, ilikuwa vitu vya inafanya kwa nini sana. Wanapisha certificate, lakini sisi tuliendelea. Kwa hiyo kulikuwa na hayo matatizo kwa nafikiria kwa nini.
But you're able to see the reaction vile nimeuliza as a man. Umaenda for therapy? Wameinama. Kuinama ni different, ni kukosa lunch. Kutokula. Kuskip lunch. So, it's like, as a man, mbona niende for therapy? I normally tell my friends, like, men suffer the most, and it's not your making. Societal expectations. Hata inasemwanga tu kuwa mwanaume. And it's wrong. Kwambia mtu kuwa mwanaume. Mbona unalia kama mwanamke? That is another wrong thing to say. So, I advocate for men to go out here and look for help. We have a toll-free number. It's 1190. If you need anonymous assistance, you can call that number. Na ufungue roho yako kabisa, and you'll get professional help when it comes to mental health na hizi shida tunazipitia. And never own a problem. Usikubali shida i-define your day, i-define your life. We all have something at the end of the day. Inaweza chukua muda, lakini si lazima tufikie. Chacha aling'ang'ana, but hakuacha background yake to define where he is going. And you can see, amesema ameenda California. So hata saizi tutafute passport. Tusingoje wanze kukimbizana. He didn't know that he'll go, but somehow vitu zilialign na akaenda. We also have, you can search it, it's called Befrienders Kenya. You can get also support. They mostly deal with people who have suicidal ideations, and they'll support you, they'll hold your hand. And anyone who calls themselves a counseling psychologist or a therapist, confidentiality ukua kitu iko mbele. Even in therapy, we don't use your name, and tunafunzwa. Kuna ethics pia, venye kuna media ethics, hata when it comes to counseling, kuna ethics pia where we know, iyo kuchukua iyo bold step, iyo step ya kwanza, that I have a problem, na uende utafute usaidiwe. It's something very big. Very few people can do it. Juna feel ni kama it will define you. It will not define you. The fact that you've gone out to seek help, that is a win for you and for people who care about you. So in school, tumeambiwa, let's try to fit in with the people that align na vitu ama kitu unataka. Don't let peer pressure take lead, and let's always remember where we've come from and what we want in life. So have friends wenye watakushika mkono vizuri. Talk to your peers. I'm not so sure if KMC has a counseling department. The nurse acts as the counselor. Or do you have a dedicated students counselor? Okay, but I'm very sure if you approach them with something that they feel hawataweza kukusaidia, they'll always refer. Sidhani there is someone who will see you falling na akatae kukusaidia. So one thing we should learn is to speak out and speak up. Kama umefinyika, usitembee kama umefinyika peke yako. Ni wewe ndio unajua ni wapi unaumia. So reach out and talk. Chacha has said is about to clear his fee. Nivo. So wewe utakosa fee. Sijui saizi fee imefika ngapi? Time yetu we used to pay like 69,000 for the whole year. Ama it was 65. Fee saizi ni 150. Evening ni 150. About full time? 102. Evening. Yeah, so usifanye fee ikue the reason you're skipping school. It's like pushing a problem forward. You'll either go elsewhere and start afresh, ama you'll come back to KMC and your classmates graduated 2-3 years ago. You can talk to Chacha, umulize, what did he do? Aliongelesha nani na akasaidiwa. Lakini usihepe, make sure umerudi kulipa. But approach someone, talk. If you don't talk, utaumia peke yako. So I think that is all.
Thank you, Wendy. Before we completely wrap up, anyone who'd like to ask anything, seek clarification? Going once? Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy that we had this session. I would like to ask about the sport people. And then you find out that people in sports, especially the people who are in their 20s, or late teens, you find out that it's very difficult, or in my head, it's difficult to make it professional. But you feel like maybe you don't know, will I make it professional? Will I be in the bigger leagues in my head? So I wonder, what will you tell such people who think they are gifted also in such spaces and they don't know what to do? Yeah.
It's so unfortunate that a sports psychologist missed this session. His name, Eddie. I want to be your, they call it the middle woman, or what they call? Midwife. Please write down your name and your phone number, and let me try to connect you to Eddie. I think he's the right person to answer that, and you're hoping he can have a session maybe through you. You can organize other sporty people, and then you can have a bit of a session with him and just listen from his perspective. Yeah, no, he's playing sports, so now professionally how to build on that. He's a footballer? Yeah, he's a footballer. and he wants to like do it professionally. Okay, maybe you can also.
I eat and live in sports. So, for instance, right now, I used to be in the school team here. We used to play football, and some of us right now play football professionally. So what happens right now, we have, the government have introduced something we call the Kenya Academy of Sports, KAS. But let me use this word, for lack of a better word. What happens for you to get to that chance? Right now, there are these teams. There are these teams that are everywhere. Maybe, right now, let me ask this. Are you affiliated to any team or the school team? Only the school team. And there's another team. So what happens? According to what I've seen, I'm giving an example of people who have seen shoot from down to become footballers. I give you an example of the name of a very famous name, Kahata. Unajua Kahata? When I was in high school, we used to play football with that guy. Then we have the likes of, I don't know whether you know him, his name is Njuguna. Right now, he signed for Nairobi United the other day. Then there are others who are playing for like Kenya Police. Others have gone to countries like Albania and some countries. So what happens, I think I will also take your contact. At least I can share with you some more information. But for anyone else who wants maybe to do sports seriously, there are these academies. Right now, most of them are in Nairobi. Most of them are, there's one in Muthaiga, there's one in, I think, Karen, and there's one that keeps moving around. What they do, they have days that they hold their trials. Then in these trials, they come with specific positions they want. Maybe they want a striker, they want a defender, but they will not be like that every time. It keeps on rotating. So I advise some guys to go for those trials, and you see some get. In football, you cannot shoot from playing football in KMC and go to Gor Mahia. No, it's like a process. The way you come from class 1, 2, 3. So if you get to the trials, they take you to the next step. But another thing, we have this Kenya Academy of Sport. It's really working. The likes of Akina Kibet. It was introduced by former CS Ababu Namwamba. So you have to be on the lookout, but also you need to get some contacts. At least you can know when these things are going on. Thank you.
Perfect. Mmeona? Alafu unasema mtu anajua mtu. Si ndio? There was a question about that. Connections. These are connection formed. Ask. A closed mouth cannot be fed. And I think that question wraps up our session today, the mentorship bit or the mental health. We are grateful that you have made time, you have interacted with us all this long. You know, I noticed that actually all of you were seated through the session, there was no movement, and that's really commendable, and we are really, really grateful. To the panelists today, who are the members of the CSR and Mentorship Committee, I'm very, very, very grateful. And also the amicus, we ambushed you and you showed up. We thank you. We also have alumni. Thank you for gracing us, Tiffany. Okay, say hi, please. I think there was also someone else. There was also another. Any alumni in the house? Someone back there, Claudia. Yes, you. Claudia, please come and say hi. Introduce yourself, tell us where you are. Just that. Which ulifanya nini, uko wapi?
Guy. Hello. Good evening. My name, just like she has said, is Tiffany Irene Kaimuri. I was here back in 2009 to 2012, right? Yes. Mimi ni mwana Powerhouse. So Powerhouse has made me who I am. I'm grateful. Currently, where I am currently, I work with a solar company. It's called Sun King Solar. I do customer service management. Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you. Tiffany alikuwa DJ. Nesemea.
Good evening. How are you? Mbona mnakaa mjachangamka sana? Ama mnangoja jioni muende kwa majina naitwa Iani? Ama ni aje? Mko fiti? Mimi naitwa Claudio Otieno. I left here in 2020, just the other day. I did broadcast journalism. I'm in the corporate world. Anywhere you need me, I'll do photography, video editing, because KMC made me who I am right now. Ama namna gani? So thank you so much. It's always a privilege to stand before you and for such programs to come upon, and we urge bwana mkuu wa kitengo bana, hii mambo ikuwe mingi kwa hii mwaka, si kweli? Kwa hivyo tunaomba hii izidi kuendelea sana, at least tuinue vijana kutoka chini, si kweli? Mkitoka hapa mnafika huko mnajiweka watu wa kuwashikilia, ama ni aje? Si ndio? Hiyo itakuwa ni poa. So itakuwa ni inaitwa mbwek sema nini? Si ndio? Ilipitwa? Sawa, hiyo ni fresh. So tutapatana mitaani, si kweli? Tutabonga stingo za vijana, za Gen Z, millennial. Millennial? Oh, mkuu wa kitengo ni millennial. Wewe ni? Ex wa nani? Ex. Asante. Tutazidi kuinteract ama ni aje? Fresh.
Thank you so much. A round of applause to him. And as he said, we are hoping we'll have more of this session. We'll have men's session, we'll have ladies sessions, we'll have collective sessions. Mtu ukiwa na contact ya alumni ka huyu na wewe unataka kwenda kwa videography ama photography, akiwa na gig, ako na gig ya Nairobi, ya Murang'a, ya wapi, si atakuja hapa bebe mtu aende afanye gig, apate pocket money. Yeah, that's how we build the connections. So that's where you tell someone najua mtu niko na God Father. But anyway, part of this committee is also CSR, and today with the guidance and leadership of the KIMC alumni, we have managed to get a few sanitary towels for some of the ladies that we had information are struggling to get even to class during their periods or during their menstruation. Menstruation is not something that is new. We all know, both men and women. So if, even as we do this, I'd also like to encourage us, if you're in a position when you're unafanya shopping home and you know your parent is someone who can throw in an extra pad, always throw in that extra pad. Be it even a man, if you can shop na uko na points extra and you think you can redeem pads, just bring them and to the nurse. They will get distributed. Because imagine we are seated here and there's someone who could not attend this session because hana pads. They miss classes, unafikiria ati yeye akona nitwaje terminal, not terminal, like akona pre-existing condition. Unajua pre-existing condition yenye wana miss class once a week, like 1 week every month ni nini? They're using tissue, the cheapest of tissue, which they cannot even sit down, because once you sit on a tissue, if you're a lady and you know it, you cannot sit in a class. So we like to encourage all of us, both ladies and gentlemen, if you can carry an extra pack next time you are coming to school or next time you go for shopping, please do so. Get it to the school nurse, and it will be given to the person who deserves it. So for today, there are a few boxes that have been brought here, and I would like to request the institutional representative, both the two of you, to come and receive it. The KMC leadership, alumni leadership, Galgalo, and for the sake of the camera, bring them here. This is for accountability purposes. give to men toothpaste. Okay, sorry, it came out vibaya, but it's like toothpaste can be shared across, both women and men. Mafuta ya kujipaka, kalamu, those basic needs. If you can always get an extra one, you present it to the school nurse and they'll be distributed to the right person.
We have the women rep.
Women rep?
Women rep ako. Kimc, women rep. Female hostel rep. Are you called?
Deputy.
Best friend, yeah?
Leadership, anyone, female?
These are okay, then. You're not even here.
Kuna leadership male.
But a lady can come also.
A lady?
Yeah, and this is on behalf of the ladies. One of the ladies? Yes.
Grab opportunity. On behalf of the director, CEO, the Kenya's Mass Communication, Mr. Peter Okuru Apollo, was here for this event officially. I will receive this consignment and later on hand over to the school nurse, who will thereafter hand over to the rep, girls hostel, for issuance of this very important item. Shall we put hands together? Meanwhile, I want to say thank you very much. And I think the director CEO, of course, thank you very much. This is the most vibrant alumni association committee ever since inception. And I want to say I am right to have said so. Speaking of over that. So shall you receive? Let me give it to the spinners who later on. Hey, I just did that, okay? What? All right, you can take 5. So thank you very much. And on behalf of the director, Madam, for the safe custody of this very important item. And thank you, Sana. Barikiwa sana. And men, mambo ya toothpaste. We have to keep smiling.
Ati?
The guys on YouTube, so they can't hear anything. It's okay, it's okay. So, tell them to talk. From anyone? From Irene. Oh, yeah, Irene. Any one of us from any friend? Oh, yeah. Or a waiter?
The leadership.
Okay. God is good and all the time. Mungu ni mwema na kila wakati. Assalamu alaikum. Comrades power. Comrades the rear. Okay, my name is Joseph Almano, the academic secretary. I'm very humbled because umetuletea vitu hapa. Tunashukuru tena sana. Tunasema ni asante. Now we continue with this process. Yes, thank you very much. And we are humble. Tumelearn kitu kuhusu mental health. Na pia kuna watu wamesaidika hapa. Tunaomba muendelee kuleta hizo vitu kwa wingi. Na tunashukuru tena sana. Asanteni.
Tupige makofi. And Ladies and gentlemen, you are very much aware that we have our satellite campus in Eldridge and are also following us live. On behalf of Mr. Wilson Yego and the president of the Eldridge campus, as well as his deputy, we are having 2 boxes coming down to 64. That is Eldridge. Piga makofi tafadhali. So now that you are live, we'll make arrangements to know how then this consignment will reach you in Eldridge. Asanteni sana. Madam Karibu.
Thank you very much, Msiani. So, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Mr. Buhere. Mr. Wycliffe Buhere. Thank you. So, asanteni sana. Mine is just very little to say thank you. You guys have given us your time. You know, we could have planned this and planned and bought, and then we come here and no one comes. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for coming and for sitting through and for asking questions and interacting and being lively. You've given us the gumption, the to want to come back again for many other sessions. Thank you for your attendance. Thank you for attention. Thank you for your time. We want to thank the school administration for allowing us to do this. Tunajua pia hiyo si given. It is actually a grace extended to us. Thank you to our chairman. You don't know how much he works hard to enable us to have sessions like this. We know members of the committee who are not here. Vera Kazungu, she works in Kilifi. And Amalanda Silvano, who's on duty. And then we have Muna, she was here. She's the one who bought this. Muna Peter, she was here. She left at 2 p.m. All these people, I'd like to thank them also because of their sacrifice. The CSR and mentorship committee, thank you so much for your time and for your sacrifice. Mungu awabariki nyote. We will meet again. What you've learned here, tell others. Usikae na your knowledge. Make others, lift others up as you go up to sharpen other, as iron sharpens iron. So do it for others too. So asanteni sana. Mungu awabariki. Tutaonana next time. Bye-bye.
And with that, we say thank you, have a lovely evening, enjoy your weekend, be safe, and have fun. Prayer? Volunteer?
Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for everything. We thank you for this day that you have given unto us. We thank you for the new year 2026. Lord, we thank you, Father, for the new semester. Oh God, we thank you. Lord, it is by your grace that we're here. It is not because of our good deeds. We thank you for this session that we have had today. We thank you for what we have learned. We thank you for the connection that have been made. We thank you that someone's problems have been solved today. Lord, we are grateful for what you've done, and may there continue to be more sessions like this. May more people continue to be helped through mental issues, oh God. Lord, we thank you and we worship you in Jesus' name. Amen.
As requested, please, will you manage to have it here, the group photo? Pale nje chini. Yeah. Okay.